Riding motorcycles is so much fun, but I can promise you, when you're out there as a girl with a motorcycle, weird things are going to happen. And I don't necessarily mean bad things, but just, for example, people walking up to you and asking if you need help or if they should take a photo of you, something like that. In this very first motovlog on my channel, I'm gonna talk about my experience and my tips on getting respect on your motorcycle as a girl, and also as a guy if you're interested. Some of you have asked in the comments for a motovlog, so I decided to finally do this and try it right now. And it's my first motovlog, so I'd be happy for some feedback. And also I try to show you a bit of the German roads here around. So the first thing I can really recommend to every rider is to know your speed and to stick to it. Because I know, especially when you're a new rider or a girl and you ride with a new group, anyway, when you're riding with a new group and they're really fast, you don't want to be the slow one and always be the last. And the problem is it's harder to ride when you're the last one actually. So it doesn't make things easier when you're behind everyone else. And when you're uncomfortable with a certain speed, things are going to get dangerous. And if you're uncomfortable, just tell the group you ride with and hopefully they will wait for you. And if not, don't try to stick to them if you're losing your safety and you don't have the concentration anymore and it's just too fast for you. Don't do that because it's just dangerous. Another thing that probably helped me the most to get more respect as a female rider was to do my own maintenance. I really saw the difference so drastically. So this thing here on the right is a speed camera, and in Germany it's quite uncommon to get pulled over, and it's way more usual to get caught by one of these speed traps. And they're really nasty because this one here was quite obvious, but so often you don't really see them. You don't see them coming. And if you're going too fast, 15 miles per hour, you can already lose your license. So you can lose your license really, really fast. And it's also so expensive. So going too fast, 15 miles per hour, would cost you around $250. So when I started riding motorcycles, I actually didn't know anyone who also rode, so I was the first one in my family to ride motorcycles, and back then I also didn't have any friends who rode motorcycles. Some of them wanted to, but they didn't have a license yet, so I was the first one. And that's why nobody told me how to do my maintenance tasks, and I also didn't really know what I had to do, because I just knew what, for example, my parents did with their cars. So they brought them to a workshop for simple service maintenance tasks every 1 or 2 years or so. But I didn't know that with motorcycles you have to do way more than that. After a while I had some motorcycle friends and I found out about that you have to do more maintenance tasks and maintenance stuff like batteries die way faster and you have to clean and lube your chain and everything. And of course I had the possibility to learn with the internet and with YouTube. So now you can also see my eyes. I think it's way easier for my generation than it had been for the generation of my parents or grandparents. I learned to do my own maintenance, and nowadays I've got 3 motorcycles and I do all the maintenance on my own. And it really helps me connecting with other riders, because when you do all the maintenance tasks on your own, first of all, people will respect you more because they see you do something on your own and you're not relying on others. I just have to go to another lane here because I was riding the wrong way. So first of all, when you do your own maintenance, people respect you for that, because they know you actually do the work and not just do the talk. And second, when you do your own maintenance, things will happen and not everything will be easy and there will be problems. Problems will always occur. Then you've got something to talk about. So you can share your mistakes and you can share your problems, and people will be willing to help when they see that you've already tried something. So don't just talk to others like, oh, I don't know what to do at all. My motorcycle isn't starting. I didn't try anything because I don't know. Try something, even if it's the wrong thing. Google, search the internet for it, and try things out. And if it doesn't work, then you can ask others and tell them, hey, I tried this and that. And have you also tried this? Do you have some other ideas, some things I can try? And people will love to chat to you about that. Because obviously people like motorcycles and they will love to talk to you about it. And now we're in the middle of a small town in the Black Forest of Germany. And here's some really nice corners. I love them so much. But the problem is that there's so much traffic as well, and that's why I can't really lean that much into them. But yeah. Maybe on the way back home. I'll also show you a bit of the landscapes around here. So now the beautiful roads are starting and we're in the middle of the Black Forest, but I don't want to film to the front right now because there's another motorcyclist and there are other cars, and I think people don't necessarily like to be filmed, especially not if I post it on YouTube. And of course I can ask them right now, but nice corners are ahead. Another thing I'd recommend is to know the basic stuff and basic data about your bike. Like to know how much horsepower it has, or when it was produced, or which bike came after it, or some general knowledge about the motorcycle brand. I just stop here and wait a little bit because the roads are so beautiful and I want to film them for you. So here we go. Welcome to Germany. Well, I don't know if you can still hear me because I'm going a bit faster now. I hope so. And I hope that you can also see a bit of the landscape. Here's a nice small village. I think it's really pretty. And here's one of these speed traps again. Do you see this gray thing? Okay, so I'll have to check my speed. And I wasn't too fast. Sometimes I really don't see them. So some weeks ago, I was riding my motorcycle and then I took a little break at the side of the road. And then there was a guy walking up to me and he just asked me randomly if he should take some photos. And I was alone there and there haven't been any other people at all. So I just agreed because I thought, why not? Some nice photos would be nice, wouldn't they? And he also said that he's a photographer, so maybe a bit dumb, but I gave him my phone and he took some photos and here's the result. He also changed some settings on my phone. So now I really have to overtake this car because this is a nice road and I want to enjoy it and not be behind him the whole way. Oh. Okay, this will get a bit tricky. Because there's no long straight road where I can easily overtake him. And I don't want to take some risks. Yes. Okay, that was good. So let's discover new road. I've never been there, and I will find out if we've got some nice corners there. Oh, looks cool. Okay, so really narrow corners, especially. Ooh. I think I'm gonna ride back home. Nobody in front of me, that's really fun. Woo! Even though I don't really like going fast on the straight line that much, corners are way more fun. Hello again. A few days ago, when I went on a ride with new people I've never ridden with before, because I also just moved here 1 year ago, so I don't know the area that well. And what I also wanted to say about riding with new people, so these were people from my gym, and they asked me if I like to ride with them, so I agreed on the ride with them, and I asked them if they are more of the racer type or if they ride more slowly, and they said that they won't go that fast. I mean, you never really know. Almost everyone says that they're not going fast. At least that's the case in Germany. I don't know if it's different in the United States. Maybe all people there say that they're 100% racers and are always going that fast, but in Germany people are not. So they're usually underestimating themselves and say they're really slowly. So I wasn't really sure, and I was lucky because they had the perfect speed. So I really loved to ride with them. It was so good, and I think I will ride more often with them. But I also had the opposite experience. People were saying no, they are really slowly, and then they were so fast that I couldn't enjoy the ride at all. I've got a really close friend, for example, and I went on a ride with him twice now. But the problem is that he's speeding a lot on straight roads, and in corners he's braking down really hard again. And where am I? Okay. No. I don't want to go here. So right now I was lost a bit because I don't know the area here at all, and the problem was I wanted to find the way back home on my phone, but the internet connection was really poor. And I think when you're from the United States or Canada or the UK, you might not know this, but it's so common in Germany that in the middle of the forest, even though there are roads and small villages and everything, you might not have proper internet connection. This is still a problem here. And then Google Maps won't work, and you're just lost for real, like 30 years ago. And by in the middle of nowhere, I don't literally mean in the middle of nowhere. There are many cars, as you can see around me, but you just don't have any internet connection. Okay, now let's see how fast you can accelerate. That's pretty cool. You can see my dashboard now. I'll stop that. go again. I really have to go home fast because I'm hungry. Now that we've talked about how to be respected on your motorcycle as a female rider, we can talk about the benefits of being a female rider. And it's that what you think? Because most people think, yeah, guys will do the work on your motorcycle and you don't have to do anything. That's not true, at least not in my case, because I also want to do my own stuff and I don't like to be dependent on a man. There's still some benefits, and I think especially in traffic. So if I do some maybe dumb overtaking maneuvers or cut some people's way, I don't know if this makes sense what I say right now. You know what I mean. If I just drive a bit unfriendly, even though I'm not intending to do so, but sometimes it just happens, then I think people will forgive me more because they think, oh, it's just a girl, maybe she for sure she didn't want this. And that's true, I really not try to ride in a mean way. Sometimes I think if I were a guy, people might get angry with me faster. So okay, this was my very first motovlog. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did, because I really liked it. Even though it was kind of difficult to concentrate on talking and riding at the same time. But if you liked it, let me know, because then I will do more of that. Bye!